We welcome in head coach of the volleyball team, Robyn Felder. Robyn, thanks so much for having us. Thanks so much for being on our show today.
Yeah, you bet. It's good to be here.
Robyn, let's just jump right into it. First tournament, first games of the season, right around the corner, not too long now. We know you've been in your fall camp for the last couple of weeks, getting ready for this upcoming season, the final season as a member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference and in Division I. Take us through a little bit about fall camp, what you've kind of seen, what are your first impressions of this team in your fall camp so far?
Yeah, it's been fast and furious. I mean, that's what it's been since the minute we hit the ground running on that Wednesday. We've just been going. It was awesome that my kids came back in shape. I think that was the biggest thing, was that the kids had put in the work over the summer and they just came back ready to rock. So every position, literally as coaches, we've just been like, this is wide open. I mean, you've got 4 kids in every spot just battling for that starting spot. And they're all doing such a great job. The chemistry's awesome. The camaraderie's awesome. There's no drama. It's just all about playing volleyball and learning our system. So it really has been a great start to our season.
I mentioned it in our previous segment, picked 3rd in the preseason Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference poll, the coaches poll. I have to imagine that gets some sort of reaction from you. You shared the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference championship last season with Colorado School of Mines. Colorado Mesa, who was above you as well. You beat them 3 times last season. Take us through your initial reactions. Picked to finish 3rd in the preseason poll.
Yeah, I mean, that for us showed us that we're right where we need to be. The coaches have respect for our program. We lost 5 phenomenal seniors, and they had big shoes to fill. So I think we have a target on our back, but not too big, and we're just ready to go out and compete, honestly.
Chatting with volleyball head coach Robyn Felder here on Trailblazer Weekly as the Trailblazers get set to open the 2019 season. Coach, you, like most of the other fall coaches, have had to kind of plan your fall camp around that early school start date. I mean, you didn't get to open till, was it the 13th or the 14th?
Yeah.
And school started on the 19th.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, you knew for a while that was the case, but what was that like knowing that, hey, we've got to plan around this and we only get 5 or 6 days before having to work around class schedules again? Of course, your team goes early enough in the morning. Maybe it wasn't big enough of a headache, but I'm sure to a certain extent it was a little bit of extra planning and making sure you got everything in that you wanted to before school started.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really had 5 days before school started, and we just tried to do our best to prepare them. I mean, ball control's been our key since the minute we got in the gym. If you can't pass, you can't do anything. And so knowing that we'd had a really strong group of kids that stayed here this summer and trained on their own and put in the work this summer, as soon as we got in the gym, that ball control issue was totally settled. Our ball control was right where it needed to be, so all we did was spring off from where we left this spring, and that was working in our offense. Tough serving, aggressive has been our mindset, and we've been able to do that because of the work these kids put in this summer.
Let's talk 2019 roster. You mentioned, how in shape these players are when they've come back from their off-season workouts, and let's talk first about your group of returners, led by a couple of All-Americans and Megan Trainer and Lauren Gamble, and there's a ton of them that I'm not gonna be able to mention. So, Coach, let's talk about those returners. Those are the 2 All-Americans and 2 of your main leaders. But let's talk about those returners and who you're leaning on to help lead this team this year.
Yeah, I mean, having Lo Gamble and Meg back that's just like, okay, it's just that comfort of knowing that you've got 2 kids that can get it done. But honestly, we've just had leadership in all the positions. Jordan Nelson at the setting position, she's been unreal this year. I mean, she truly has been, her location spot on. She's running our offense like champ. She's just been amazing coming back from the summer. We had a transfer in Lizzie Clark. She's fit into our system so nicely. She's a slider. She just gives us another dimension to our offense that we haven't had in years past. Toa's back on the outside. She's still killing people right and left with heavy arm, big swings. And then our defense. I mean, we have 4 liberos this year, and every single one of them, in my opinion, is a Division I libero. They have ball control, they're scrappy, so I really think our defense is going to be another huge part of our team this year.
We talked returners. Let's talk new faces now. Some of the maybe transfers, freshmen, people that are standing out this season who are going to make an impact this year on your team, people who are maybe surprising you in fall camp? Give us some of the new names we might be hearing coming this season.
Yeah, I mean, Becca Ferris we had prior to her mission. She came back off her mission in the spring, so she'll be new, somewhat new this year. We have Lizzie Clark, like I said, she's a transfer from Laramie. We got Cy Collins, she was a transfer from Snow, and that kid, I mean, she is hungry. She always says that. She's like, Coach, I'm just hungry. She wants to play. She wants to compete. She's a high flyer. She's like 5'8" and biggest jumper on the team, so she can fly. And then our freshmen, I mean, just coming in right away, and you would never know they're freshmen. They're just ready to go, very physical, and I think it's just going to be a great year for those newbies to fit in.
Chatting with Coach Robyn Felder, head coach of the volleyball team here live on Trailblazer Weekly. Coach, let's talk a little bit about your season expectations. Obviously, you set the bar extremely high for your athletes, and rightly so, and you do a tremendous job every year of getting these women ready for the season and training and everything that goes into being a head coach of a volleyball team. Talk a little bit about kind of your season expectations going in. We mentioned the preseason poll. We've talked a little bit about that, but just kind of overall, what's your season expectations? Kind of give us a rundown of where you maybe expect to finish and what your overall goals are.
I mean, every year, I don't even have to say it because I've got kids that are like, we want to win. I mean, that's really it. But we really put the word greatness on our season this year. We just want to be great, whether that means we go undefeated or whether that means we win another conference championship at the end of the season. We just want to be great. And, this is a springboard for us going into the WAC. We want to be great for that. So, I think we use the word greatness a lot and relentless. We just want to be that team that is coming at you all the time, that you just can't let your guard down or we're going to blow you up. So I think that really defines our season.
Coach, of course, what a way to start your time in the RMAC last year and in winning the RMAC championship. But what have you as a coach and a coaching staff been able to kind of reflect on last year and learn from the new conference and then take into your preparations for this year to say, yeah, we won the conference last year, but if we do this and this and this even better this year, then we should be able to repeat and do the same thing over again?
Yeah, I think last year for us was just fun because we were the unknown. So when we'd come in and beat people up, it was like, what? Who is this team? This year, there's the targets there. So there won't be that surprise factor anymore, but I just think we have a group of kids that loved what we did last year and they want more. So we went to the NCAAs, we won, they want to go deeper into the tournament. I mean, we've even used words like national championship in our gym because they think we can do it. And honestly, that belief goes a long way, and I'm on board, we're all on board. I think if we're all in, I really do believe we have a group of kids that can get it done.
I find it hard to believe that you truly snuck up on anyone as a surprise in the conference last year after just looking at your track record in the Pac-West Conference and how successful your program has been. But like you mentioned, that target's there this year certainly won't surprise anybody this year. It all starts next week. Let's talk about the season opening tournament inside the Burns Arena. You've got 4 or 5 different opponents that you will play, but another 4 or 5 teams that are in, and we're going to be playing volleyball all weekend long, second year in a row that we've done this. Talk about how that all came together again, because it's for the most part different group of teams than last year, right? No repeat teams from last year. So just talk about how it all came together to say, hey, let's do it again. Let's bring some teams in and let's play at home.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing. We wanted to play at home, and we love playing in the Burns. If we don't say that enough, we love playing in the Burns.
Jetty, plug your ears.
But no, it's an awesome facility. There's so much room to run and chase. The ceilings are high. You can't beat the energy in the Burns. It's awesome. And this group of teams that we have coming, I mean, we've got 2 great teams from the GNAC. We brought some teams from the RMAC. We really just wanted to get some good in-region competition. Like I said before, we always have a great matchup with Northwest Nazarene. We wanted to make sure we got to play them again. St. Cloud was a team we were excited about matching up against, as well as Stanislaus and Simon Fraser. So just really looking for a great opening weekend to kind of see what we've missed and to see where we need to go from there.
Volleyball team starts it with St. Cloud State on September 5th, like you mentioned, in the Burns Arena at 7 p.m. Bringing in, like you mentioned, a lot of good teams: St. Cloud State, Northwest Nazarene, Colorado Christian, Simon Fraser, Stanislaus State as well. Obviously, it's a big big tournament and a big weekend, and you guys do a tremendous job putting it on, and Dixie State is a great host. Obviously, these games matter a lot early on in the season to kind of see how you measure up and kind of the things you need to work on. They're not RMAC games, so you don't necessarily count against the standings, obviously, but they give you kind of a perspective going forward into the conference schedule of what you need to work on. How do you use these games to say, here's where we're weak, here's where we're strong, this is what we need to improve on going into our RMAC slate?
Yeah, I mean, we defend ourselves really well because we know ourselves. But then you see a team that might have a different part of their offense. They might be in a 5-1 versus a 6-2 volleyball IQ. But you know, so we're not used to playing against that because we don't do that. So as soon as you match up against a team that maybe runs a quicker middle or has a great slider, or their kids attack the sidelines versus the middle of the court, you know, you really see where you're weak. So I think that really is what preseason is all about. Obviously, you want to win and you want to play good volleyball, but you really are looking for where are we weak, so we can go back to the drawing board, fix it, get better at it, so that when we see those things in RMAC, we're ready for it.
Obviously, exciting at times. You know, season's right around the corner. You know, you're set up well for this 2019 season, but hard to overlook this season as it is. But we do have 2020 looming as we go into Division II. How has it been getting your players to not overlook this season and not say, oh, man, I can't wait to get to 2020 and so we can be Division I players and student athletes? How do you get your teams to focus on, hey, we have one more season in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference in Division II. Let's not look past it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're headed to Division I, but we're not there yet. So for us, we rarely talk about it. I mean, if anything, it's just, it's going to be so cool, but we got business, and we really want to finish our time in Division II, our time in the RMAC. We only get 2 seasons there, so we would love to put a stamp on the RMAC. So honestly, we're excited for D1. It's going to be great when it gets here. But for now, we're focused on this season at hand and really trying to just keep these girls prepared for this season.
I want to print that on a shirt. We're headed to Division I on the front, but we're not there
yet
on the back. And I'll admit, I'm the one that's brought it up quite a bit, almost with every team on our fall sports preview, because I mean, it's a talking point. It's something that's coming, but I have really enjoyed and loved the responses that I've got to, like, hey, we don't really want to talk about that right now because we have goals in mind this season. You mentioned the word national championship. You know, I get chills when you say that. It's exciting to see where these programs are headed, and yours especially, Coach, this season. So we appreciate you stopping by the studio. We'll let you get going and get prepping. We got those games coming up next week, and we're looking forward to them. St. Cloud State will be the opener for Dixie State on Thursday night at 7 p.m. inside the Burns Arena, and then a couple matches each day on Friday and Saturday. So be sure to be there, or it's your own fault if you don't come and enjoy great volleyball.
Volleyball inside the Burns Arena is something. It's something else. It's one of the things you just have to be there. You have to be able to be there live in person. We love the SAC. I love the SAC. It's electric energy, but being in the Burns is just a little bit different, and it's really electric. The volleyball team is going to be tremendous this season. Come out and support.
Come out and support. Coach, thanks so much